Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded and Unfiltered. I'm your host, Jermaine, and today is going to be a short episode. Mostly because I have a few things that I want to get done today, including streaming Arc Raiders. I'm kind of addicted to that game. So this one's going to be a short one so I can get it edited and keep this streak alive that we've had for almost 3 years or over 3 years. At this point, time doesn't exist. I just know every week I'm putting up an episode of my podcast, and so here we are. Today's message is for anybody out there who has ever had a creative idea that they have sat on for years, mostly because either they didn't know the right steps to take, or they talked themselves out of it because they didn't want to lead a group. I guess that's very specific. That's very specific to me. Or you allowed other people to stop you from creating that dream that you've had that sparked interest in your mind. This podcast is evidence of one of those situations where I had a number of people told me that I shouldn't create this podcast. There's too many podcasts, it's oversaturated. And I didn't listen because I really wanted to have a podcast. So that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about my accountability group that I started with 3 other amazing individuals. I am so grateful that when I asked them or when I mentioned that I wanted to do an accountability group, they jumped on it without hesitation. They were like, yeah, let's do it. And we've only had one meeting so far, but already I'm seeing the growth and I'm seeing the positives of starting this accountability group. We meet once a week. I lead it, of course, and I think that was one of my hesitations on starting an accountability group. I don't know why. Like, now that I'm doing it, I can't tell you the reason why I didn't do it. I'm sure it had a lot to do with I've never been one for starting groups. It's been a while since I've led anything. And Discord is where I decided to host the accountability group because we all have Discord. We're all familiar with it. We all use it because we're gamers. And I have a disdain for Discord a little bit. And I think it was because I was in so many different channels. I felt an obligation that I needed to say something every day. This was years ago when I had this obligation feeling. And I ended up just terminating my personal Discord for my streaming needs. And I would just jump in other people's Discord when I needed to jump on a call with a lot of people. But going through the process that I've been going through as far as getting my goals up, so far I have hit every day as far as the goals that I wanted to achieve these first 6 months of the year. And that excitement and that feeling of accomplishment, I wanted to share with others. I wanted others to feel that same sense of accomplishment. And there are people in my life who, for years, I knew, or I know, or I've seen that this person creates amazing content and they just need a structure to get them locked in. Once they're locked in, the sky's the limit. So, not only for myself, because I need to practice talking in front of large groups or talking in front of groups in general on things that are not just, oh, I'm playing this game, let me commentate on it. No, I wanted to talk more about mindset. I wanted to talk more about goals and the energy that is generated from hanging out with like-minded people. I've always known was a powerful source of energy, and being able to recreate that in this accountability group has been amazing. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it locked down to just us 4. We'll see. I definitely want to do some, not experimenting. I want to see what works. And that's part of chasing your dreams, doing that idea that you had. You got to do it messy. You can't always have the perfect road plan, the perfect steps to execute to achieve your goals. Sometimes you got to do stuff messy. And with this accountability group, I thought about it in January, the beginning of the year, and I didn't launch it officially until like the first week. I think it was February 1st when I was like, I reached out to the homies and was like, hey, y'all ready? Everyone said yes. So I already had the Discord channel spun up. I just invited everybody in, created the first event for our meeting that are on Wednesdays at 7, and we went from there. I knew that my goal and my intention of the group is to assist with making goals and making habits and making consistency second nature. Because I think we talk ourselves out of not only being consistent, but we talk ourselves out of a lot of amazing ideas that we have. And I found that lately, if I feel an itch of, I don't want to do that, after I already initially have a idea in mind, then I'm pushing myself that much harder to push past that static, to push past that part of me that doesn't feel 100% ready to do it and just do it, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, A, I'm smart. B, I am capable of learning things. So C, why not just push through that anxiety, push through that feeling of I'm not ready yet to get to your desired result. Eventually, everything that I need for this to run the way that I envision will fall into place. I'll learn new skills. I'll learn what does work. I will learn what doesn't work. And so I don't know if they realize this. Shout out to my homies, Bossu, Blurred, and Push, that I'm definitely trying things. I'm like, hey, let's see if this works. Let's see what results we get with this. Let's see if we talk about this subject first and this one second. Do we do a round table? There's so many different parts and pieces to this accountability group. Thing that I realize is that it excites me. Like, I'm excited to work on things that I love. And I've been holding back on creating this accountability group and thus delaying excitement and joy in my life. So again, if there's an idea that you've been thinking about, maybe you have a series in mind, maybe you have a game that you want to stream, but you hesitate to stream it because it's not really your niche, the people who rock with you will rock with you. And the people who are only there for one thing, you're not a one thing person. So don't worry if they fall to the wayside, because they weren't there for you in the first place. They were there for that one game you played, or they were there for that one piece of content you made. If they decide to move on when you decide to work on something that speaks to you, that's okay. That's part of the game. Don't take it to heart. Don't think that you're a horrible content creator because you're starting to lose numbers. Hell, that might not even happen, but if it does, don't worry about it. And before I sign off, wow, we're already at 7 minutes? That's crazy. Before I sign off, I want to leave you with this. You are the creator of your reality. Any thoughts that enter your mind, let them be positive thoughts, or at the very least, let them be neutral thoughts, thus alleviating the cause of anxiety because you're thinking about a future that doesn't exist. I know we were taught to look at every scenario when we are thinking about doing something, both good and bad, but I honestly do not find any worth in worrying about things that have not happened yet. Honestly, don't find any worth in worrying about things at all. All it does is bring up a bunch of emotions and feelings that distract you from finding a solution. I'll speak more on that later, but I'll just let you know now, when you're an angry person, you lose access to creativity. Creativity is one of the best, most powerful tools we have in our arsenal to create worlds, to create solutions to problems, to create an environment in which we can thrive. Creation's a magical, powerful tool that content creators can tap into at any time. Unfortunately, there are voices inside our head, and I'm assuming they're not ours because, well, they are ours. It's our mind trying to keep us safe, but we need to quiet those thoughts and start pursuing our creative endeavors without issue. And that's it. Before we hit 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you haven't shared the podcast with other content creators or anyone you know who would benefit from conversations like these and more, please do so. It helps the podcast a lot. Uploading and Unfiltered is a new episode every week. And with that, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.